Hello everyone, welcome back. It is Annette Green. This is part 2 of week 41 of 2025. And yesterday I did a video on getting all these bases ready and using stencils and scraps to get them ready on these artist trading cards. And today I'm going to decorate all of them. There's 46 laying here. I've got 45 over there. I need to make 9 more. So this is the process that I have found that works really well, especially if you want to move fast and you have a lot to do. I spread out all the bases that I have, and it doesn't matter, like colors together. You can do that if you want to take the time, but I'm just spreading them out and I'm laying things down that I think I want to go with them. I'm not giving it a lot of thought. I'm just going through and doing that. Okay, and these are just things, bits and scraps of things that I've had in a little bin over there. Certainly, if you don't have that, you can die cut a bunch of stuff and don't think about it and just die cut a whole bunch of border strips if you have them, or something on your Cricut machine, let's say, just a whole bunch of stuff in different colors, and then you can just pull from that. Now, you can see some tickets. And so if you watched yesterday, I have some 49 and Market, all these leftover colorful tickets. So I just started putting a ticket down on most of these. Some of them, I couldn't find one that matched nicely. And this is not hard and fast. I could change my mind when I go to glue all these things down. And then you might see some other things like this. This is an extra die cut, a layered die cut of a pretty flower from, my card maker special from last year. Border strips from paper. This is from Harmonious Hodgepodge I showed you yesterday. And I've also grabbed some leftover strips from my Colorful Collective. Now, border strips are great. These are just random offcuts. They're not even the same length. And I can choose either side on these. And so, I'm just kind of looking quickly at what I have. And then I might snip it and lay it there. I'm not thinking about it too hard. I'm just trying to get some things down. I'm not worried about the length right now because I know that I will tune that up when I get to it. So that's basically what I'm doing right now. Now, what I will do next is I will get my bee stamp and my bee die that I talked about yesterday, and I'll talk about it again when I pull it out. And I will stamp and die cut, and I'll show you how I mass produce those, a whole bunch of bees, to add to most of these. I mentioned yesterday that I was going to use my Everyday Words number 4, and I did start to do a few. This takes the longest time, is deciding what color you want to use for the background shadow and the foreground piece. I may or may not do that to a lot of these, maybe half. I did mention yesterday a stamp set that I have that I'm going to use to stamp some little words too. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll take a moment and make sure that every little pile here has at least one border strip, some sort of embellishment, a word, and then we'll do the bees very last. Okay, this is a tip that I have seen. It is not something that I invented. I'm sure that you've even seen it before, but when you are mass cutting and stamping, when you have a die cut and a stamp that go together and you need to do a whole bunch of those, rather than trying to figure out, do I stamp first, die cut after, how do you line it up? I go ahead and die cut my bees. So I have 2 different sizes here, but first I make a little template here. And this is about 4 by 6, and I spread them out on purpose. Like when I was die cutting them here, I kept them close together so I didn't waste, but I don't want to use that as my template because if I decide I want to stamp like all the small bees in one color and all the bigger bees in a different color, I have enough room to do that and to ink with a stamp pad. So once you have your little template, you die cut a whole bunch of bees, which I've done. I got 2 stacks over here of big ones and little ones. And I've just used sort of an off-white. It's actually Stampin' Up's Very Vanilla, which is a nice off-white I love. Just because white, I told you yesterday I don't love just white. And I don't think I'm going to color these in. So, give it a little bit of color. Okay, and over here, I've already done it. I should have done it first, but I have lined up the bee stamp in that hole that I had there. I did that to both of them and then shut the lid, and that's why they're over here in the proper place. And I haven't tested this yet. let's give it a test run. We're just going to use some VersaFine Black Onyx. And we'll give this a test together just to make sure. And I do want to use my little, what is that, air hockey? My air hockey tool. Has that bit of felt on the bottom that makes it easy to slide. Okay, I can see that I need to adjust just a little tiny bit. The little one looks pretty good. The big one's a little bit off. So I'm gonna just put the stamp back in there and move it down just a tiny bit from where it is and do that again. Would I throw that away? No. I would probably just kind of fussy cut. You know, if you just have one that's kind of off like that, I would fussy cut away all that extra stuff and I would still use it. This one's just a little bit off, but I think that's usable, so I'm going to keep that one. I just tested another one. That's great. So then I would get my piercer in here and gently pop those out and just keep on going. And if I want to change colors with the ink. So I'm going to go through and power these out, and I will be back. Okay, I've got a whole bunch of big bees in different colors. I've got some little bees in different colors. I think I have plenty to work with. Likely I will ink the edges or do something to them. But I just wanted to reiterate from yesterday's video what I'm using here, and that is CS351 stamp set, Love and Roses, still available. I will link below. There are also a couple of butterflies down here that coordinate with the die I'm using for the bees, and that is the layered butterfly die, which looks like this. So there's the two bees, and there's the side view of the one butterfly and the other one. Now the big ones, they are just layered, you know, the dies are layered, so you don't have a stamp for those, but that's why these look like shadows, because they do have a stamp. So those two definitely go together, but they don't come together. And we can do exactly the same thing while we have the stamp platform out and make all of our labels for all of our ATCs all at one time. Now, if you don't have this particular set, I mentioned yesterday, actually I misspoke yesterday. I said this was no longer available. It is available in the Europe side of Elizabeth Craft Design's website. It's not available anymore in the US. It's sold out. But if you didn't have this one, there was the classic ATC, which is a label style stamp, but it doesn't have a coordinating die with it. So this one and this one go together. I would do the same steps I just did there, and I've already done that on some. And here's an example. So I have all these goodies to put onto this one, keep those together. But yeah, it die cuts out beautifully, just like the same way I would just mass produce those and use black ink. And then you can fill it in by hand. I prefer to fill it in by hand because I think it's nice to get an artist trading card with a person's actual handwriting, but you could certainly make your own labels on the computer if you want. So I'm going to tuck this away. This is something that I can do later. We don't have to, you know, go through all that in the video with you. My goal today is just to get these ATCs done. Okay, so now comes the fun part where I get to decorate all of them, and I'm certainly not going to do all 46 in front of you today. I will show you all of them at the end, and if I find a little tip to share with you as I come across one, I'll do that. But you know, this one started off, if you watched yesterday, with just that stenciled background. Lovely. So this is a border strip. I have a rickrack border, like scrap, out of black. I just snipped it off of this one. And I stuck it behind there, and it doesn't look like rickrack anymore. It just looks like a cute little border of triangles. Got my little 49 and Market ticket there, and then I will pop my bee on here, and I have the word love layered up already. And that would be it for me for the first ATC. Not the first, but the first one today. Now, my top tip to you always, when I'm making a planner page, a card, ATCs, anything at all, it's always much more pleasing when you have at least 2 or 3 things overlapping. The word love is going to be fine up here on its own, and because we have so much stenciling texture going on there, it isn't floating. It's overlapping in a way. These are definitely overlapping, and then the bee, I would have it just kind of touching the ticket, just like that. And to me, that's much more pleasing. If you could imagine all those things separated and floating on the card, it just wouldn't have the same look. The other thing I love to do is go off some edges. Not all edges with everything, of course, but you know, don't be afraid to cut off the wing and the legs and have that bee coming in off the side. That's also very pleasing looking. It doesn't always have to be contained. Okay, now a little detail work you can wait till the very end to do, which is what I recommend, but just because I'm going to do it now, I will show you now. I have this wonderful jelly roll pen, and it's, is there a name? It's just like the shimmer one. I don't see a name. It's not white, it's kind of like a sparkly goldish color. So the number they show on here is XPGB #700. I don't know if that helps us at all. But I like to do the wings of the bees with this, because you can go right over the black. You don't have to be super fussy and worry about, you know, going between lines and stuff. Just puts a little bit of shimmer on the wings. Mine doesn't seem to be flowing, but you get the idea. And then I might also, if this is going on here, which it is, I might go into these white spaces with the same marker. Now you can do that with Wink of Stella, any of these water-based pens that have sparkle to them, anything like that that you have already will do the same kind of thing. And it just adds a little bit of sparkle. Okay, just see if we can see a little of that shimmer. It's very, very subtle, which is very nice. Just a nice little touch if you have some white in there. So one and done, and I'm going to now spend the next several hours probably. Maybe I'll time myself and let you guys know how long it took me to layer up and play and make the rest of these 45 more ATCs. And if I come across something interesting as I'm doing it, I will hop in and show you. Otherwise, I will see you after I get them all done. Okay, just to give you a progress update before I start this next one, I have 20 finished over here to my left, and so that tells you how slow going this is, even though it's efficient. The honest truth is when you're making 45, 46 of something, it's going to take a while. So let me grab those 20. We'll kind of flip through and I'll show you a few things, and then I'll share my tip for how I am pulling them together fairly quickly. Mind, I don't like to make anything exactly the same. So here we go. You can see all those backgrounds we worked on in part 1. Sometimes you don't really see a lot of the background because I have a lot of layering on here. I have used Everyday Words 4, but I also went and pulled Everyday Words 2 and 3 for some of these, because I thought the word sweet was good and happy, and that's not in set 4. That's actually in those other 2. I had a few extra like fruit pieces laying around, so I did those instead of bees sometimes. So, I mean, these are super fun, easy. Just takes a little bit of time just to pull them together, but I just put on a show and I work through it. Now, okay, you've seen 20, and they all look pretty different, right? But have sort of a cohesive feel. So here's the trick. As I showed you at the beginning of part 2 here, it's basically all of them are the same, really, in essence. There is your base, some kind of border strip, maybe has an accent either behind it or across it. There's always a word, whether it's a stamped word or one of those die cut words. There was postage on almost everything, and then a bee or some main element. Okay, so let's take a look at those again. All of them, of course, but here you go. So you've got your border strip. This one has 2 tickets, a word, and the bee. Same thing here. I added a leaf because I used the small bee and I felt like I had space to fill, but it's the same thing, you guys. Same thing. Changed papers, changed the border strips, used a different ticket, but it's basically essentially that same thing. So that is very helpful, especially if you're like me, crazy that is, and you want to make all your ATCs different. Use the same basic layout when you change up the colors, but the elements are basically the same, right? So I hope you see that. I hope that helps. I really think it's helpful to just kind of stick with that instead of starting each one new and saying, okay, what am I going to do with this one? You've got your elements, your basic things, and then just start working around it. Okay, so you get the idea. All right, so I'm going to sit and work on the rest of these. Gosh, you guys, I finished. I finished. I finished. I'm so happy. So you saw the first 20. That's what those are. I'm going to push those out of the way. I'll show you these really quickly, and then we'll talk at the end about some follow-up tips to making lots and lots of ATCs. I made 100. You won't see the last 9 because I'm going to make them with my new release and take them to Banff, and I can't show you yet because the release doesn't come out till the 22nd of October. So here we have more neutral, some colorful, lots of colorful, you know, using up those scraps, those gel prints that I wasn't thrilled about, but then introducing the stencils, using a little ticket item, borders, all different colors, all different styles, but same deal with the border strip, a word, a focal image, and then maybe a ticket or something else. Some of these I have favorites. That one's kind of a favorite because I love teal. Here's another one. So just like the first part 1 video, I will link everything below. And I hope this has inspired you to give ATCs a try. You know, this little teeny size, it's smaller than making a card. They're so much fun. Even if you didn't have anyone to trade with yet, if you wanted to just make a stockpile of these and keep them, and then be on the lookout on Facebook or anywhere online, there's communities that do these kind of swaps, and you could trade and enjoy other people's artwork as well. So we're getting to the end here. I had such a good time doing this. This really is very fun and rewarding, and a great way to, oop, there's another one under there. Great way to use up your scraps. I keep saying it, but it's true. And then that one just makes me happy. Okay, so let's remember the tips and things that I shared. I'll just kind of reiterate, and that is, use your scraps. If you made a card you didn't care for, use that if you kept it. If you made a tag to practice a stamping technique or an inking technique, I certainly did that. If you watched part 1, I used a lot of things I had just thrown in a drawer that I kind of abandoned or didn't like. Cut some border strips, lots and lots of border strips. Decide on a focal image for each card. If it's like, this was already stuff I had. I did not die cut this again. I did all the bee stamping like you saw, but you know, some of the stuff I had, and that's my focal image. The bee is my focal image here. So basically 1 focal image, and I like to put 1 word, some kind of word of encouragement, joy, hope, love, delight, sweet, thankful, and so on. Stencils. Grab those stencils and start going to town, especially if you have artwork that you sort of didn't like, or if you have some pattern paper that you wanted to do just a little bit more to. Use those stencils. Grab your stamps. Then I would say assemble all your bases like I did in part 1. Get all those done first, and then you can go through and embellish and follow my rules today on putting down those paper strips, all those things without thinking too much. Just give it a quick go. Try to keep it simple. Don't overthink it. And most importantly, enjoy it. Have fun. I certainly did, and I hope that you like all my fun cards here. I can't wait to go to Banff and do the exchange and see what I get back. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your patience for part 2. It took a while, and I said I might time it, so it's 1:30 now. I started at about, maybe 9:30 this morning with a few breaks for a snack or talk to my husband. And then, of course, most of the day yesterday, I would say 4 or 5 hours yesterday. So it does take quite a long time to make 100, just to give you an idea. Okay. Thanks again. Appreciate you being here, and I hope you like these ATCs, and please give them a try. And if you do, make sure you tag me. All right, everybody. I'll see you next week in the next crafty video.